Next we're going to talk about your store information, and we'll get into some shipping stuff as well in this video. If you need to edit any information about your store, this is separate from configuration. So Edit Store will allow you to edit information related to who you are as a store, basically. Configuration edits how your store works. So let's go look at Edit Store. It's going to pull up some information here, and it's basically just going to tell the world who you are, or who your store is. Okay, so we have our store name, our store company name, the URL for your store. Currently it looks like it's still the URL officially that this is set to is ashleydesign.com. You probably just want to change this to filterwears.com. But you can set the address for your store, city, state, zip, all that fun stuff, the phone number for your store, the contact information. So if you send an email to your user from VirtuMart, it's going to show up as coming from Joseph at filterwears.com. And the information for that is over here on this side on the right. We have our address format. This basically just will set up how people view your store address on your site. Currency, US dollar is already set up. You probably will never need to change that. We have our logo here. We can set the minimum order value for your store. 0 is probably good. Here we have a minimum amount for free shipping. We're going to talk about shipping in a little bit. Right now it's set to 0. You may want to set a threshold. Maybe you want people to have free shipping only after they spend $50 or something like that. So if you want to make those changes, you make it here in the store information section under Edit Store right here. It's another way to get to this page that we're on. Scroll down here a little further past the logo section. Down here we have a description of your store. Right there. We also have a terms of service, which I mentioned a little bit earlier. Terms of service is good for PCI compliance. You may or may not have to deal with PCI compliance. It kind of just depends on who your payment processor is and how stringent they are with that kind of thing. But that is the edit store information. And again, how I got here, go back to control panel. I click the edit store button right here in your control panel to get there. So that will allow you to change the information about your store. So let's go back to that one more time, and you can see all our information here. Shipping is something we need to talk about as well. Over here, under the Store tab, these are all tabs that slide out, by the way, and they have a lot of things that we've already talked about. But as we're talking about shipping, there's 2 places where you need to work with your shipping rates, and there's different ways to do shipping with VirtuMart. So let's click the Shipping Module List link right here, shipping module list. So click that, and we have a list of a bunch of different shipping companies. We have FedEx, DHL, UPS, USPS. Those are probably the American ones that you would ever use. Currently there's only 2 that are enabled. We have Flex, which is enabled, and we have Standard Shipping Module, which is enabled. So there's 2 ways that you can do shipping. You can set up your own shipping rates and have those shipping rates be based on weight and size or price threshold, things like that. And that's what the Standard Shipping Module and the Flex Shipping Module do. And if you want to make some changes to how those work, you can click the Configure Ship method for those. So they're right there. The other way to do your shipping is to let a shipper, an actual company, handle the shipping cost for you. In short, what's happening there is you are going into, let's say, FedEx. Maybe you wanted to use FedEx for all of your shipping. You would go into Configure Ship method, and you would enter in a FedEx account number, a meter number, and a server address. You would get with FedEx and let them know, hey, I want to be set up on my site with your information. And they would give you this information, and then FedEx would automatically calculate all of your shipping costs for you. So that's how that would work. These automatic shippers, FedEx, USPS, UPS, DHL, depend on the size and the weight of your products. So if none of the products in your product list that we looked at in an earlier video have any weights or sizes applied to them, then these these automatic shipping modules will not work correctly. They'll create pricing, but it may not be actually enough to cover shipping, and it could be just minimum pricing that they're applying, and it may not actually be very good. So the moral of this story is, if you're going to do a shipping module with one of these services like UPS or FedEx, you're going to want to set the height, width, length, and weight of all of your products. And remember that those dimensions need to be for the shipping dimensions, like your filter inside of a box, not just your filter by itself. The weight of your filter inside of a box, not just the weight of your filter by itself. That's going to be the best way to do this. Currently, your site is not set up to work with these. Your site is set up to do manual shipping rates, which is fine. A lot of stores do that way. To edit these rates, we're actually going to go over to the shipping tab right here. So there's our shipping tab, and we're going to click shipping rates. And right now we have just one rate in here, a $5 flat fee. So we can click this fee to see the details of it. And right now the site will apply a $5 flat rate fee to it'll be to any shipping address in the world, or in the United States actually, with anything that has a weight of basically 0 to 12 pounds is going to have a $5 fee applied. See how I did that? So up here I have a description of what this is. List order you can skip. The shipper is flat rate, so you can leave that as is. Countries, United States, you can leave that as is. Zip range start, zip range end. So if you want, you can have shipping based on zip code ranges. You can go to the USPS website and it'll give you different zip code ranges for all the different sites, or sorry, for all the different states. So you could set different shipping rates based on state. This one is not set up that way. It's going to have the same rate no matter what state it is. So right now it's 0 through 99999. So it doesn't matter what the state is, it just matters what the weight is. We have a weight range of 0.005 pounds to 12 pounds. And the fee that's going to be applied is $5. There's no package fee being applied, and we're charging in US dollars. And there's no VAT ID because we're not a European country. We do not have value added tax here in the United States. This will almost always stay 0. Alright, so that's what this shipping fee is. Let's cancel out of this, and let's actually do one from scratch. Let's make one up. We're going to go back to our shipping rate. So remember, I clicked on this little link down here, shipping rates. So I click that. I'm going to go over here and click this time I'm going to click the new button. So click the big green new button on the upper right. I'm going to give this another description. Let's say this is a $10 heavy shipping fee, and we can skip list order. We're going to go with the flat rate as our shipper. If you wanted to, you could actually have other shippers like FedEx, and you could kind of overrule their pricing. So that's why it gives you the option to choose a shipper. So generally, you just want to stick with flat rate if you're setting your own pricing. Country, United States. Zip range start, we'll just go with 00000 to 99999. So that means every state in the whole country. We've now just done all of that. If you leave it blank, I don't think it's going to make any difference. It'll just select every state in the country. Okay. Lowest weight, we'll go 10 or 12 to 30. So 12 pounds to 30 pounds, and the fee is going to be $10. That'd be really cheap shipping for a 30-pound box. But this is just for our tutorial. We're going to set up a $3 packaging fee, and then the currency, of course, is going to be the United States dollar right there. And once we're done, we click save, and we'll have our other fee here. So you can see we have a $5 flat fee and a $10 heavy shipping fee, and it's dependent upon the weight of the object. So these fees will automatically get applied to your products when customers buy them. The main thing to remember here is that these will only get applied when your products have a weight assigned to them. If there's no weight being applied, there may not be a shipping rate that gets applied as well, because these are dependent upon weight, if that makes sense. Or it may just go with the cheapest rate, the $5 flat fee. So You'll want to add a weight and some weight information for each of your products so your shipping fees can be accurate. Everyone does shipping differently. I've never seen it done exactly the same way at every company that I've ever done work for. You'll want to find out what works best for you. One company I worked for wanted to do everything straight through FedEx, and then they found out that it was actually going to be cheaper to do some of their products through UPS and some of their products through USPS. So they have a really big, wide kind of gamut. And what they ended up doing is doing a bunch of flat rate fees and then sending to the shipper of their choice depending on what was going to be cheaper. So they would charge $7 for shipping, for instance, and they found out that UPS would ship it for cheaper on their end for $6, and so they would send it out for $6, and they made $1 on that. So play around with it, try some different things. It may take you a while to get this down as far as in a way that's going to not cost you more money, but it's just something that you'll need to learn. You can get tips from other people that are doing online stores. So that is shipping and how to work with shipping. Okay, we're kind of getting to the end of our Virtumart training. There's not too much else that I want to show you. A lot of this is going to come down to you playing around with it. But the only other thing we're going to cover is coupons, and we'll tackle that next in the next video.